Hello everybody, this is Takamura here again, and like I said, for my next movie review, I'm gonna be reviewing on Finding Dory. Came out in 2016. So, plot of this movie is we got a, at the beginning we got a little flashback of when Dory was a baby and with her parents Jenny and Charlie. Then Then one day they were a happy family, but one day Dory lost her parents and she has to find them. So yep, and then she met Marwin, once again voiced by Albert Brooks. And Dory is once again voiced by Ellen DeGeneres. So yep, this movie was left off 1 year after Finding Nemo. So, yeah. So, yep, so they went on a Nemo and his friends and Dory went on like a field trip somewhere, and so yep. Then meanwhile Dory got captured by by some people, and been taken to this aquarium. So yep, and then while she was at the aquarium, she met this octopus named Hank. So yeah, she has to find her way to. She has to find a way to find her parents and Marvin. And so yeah, it's up to Marvin and Mimo to find Dory, and it's up to Dory to find her parents, and that's basically what the plot is. Now, what do I have to say about Finding Dory? This is actually a pretty good prequel, I should say. This is one of this. I want to say this is Pixar's second prequel. You know, first one was being Monsters University, which I reviewed on that not too long ago. So yeah. I really enjoyed Finding Dory, but I'll say this: this is definitely not as good as Finding Nemo. So yeah, I like Finding Nemo a lot better because I guess I grew up with Finding Nemo. Like, you know, I used to watch Finding Nemo a lot as a kid. Yeah, I used to love watching Finding Nemo a lot when I was a kid. So yeah. And I was really hyped when this movie was coming out. I was really looking forward to seeing it. So yeah. Yeah, and fun fact, and also I did saw this film in theaters. That's right. I saw this film in theaters when I was 11 years old. I was about to enter middle school. I saw it in theaters with my brother, my 5th grade teacher, and her daughter. So, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I get to see this movie with my brother, my 5th grade teacher, and her daughter. So yeah. And it was like a few months before I entered middle school. So yeah, I would be in 6th grade in 2016. So yeah. I was about to enter my first year of middle school. So yeah. So yeah. When I saw this movie in theaters, I was pretty impressed with it. But it's definitely not as good as Finding Nemo. But hey, this is not a bad movie. Yeah, I find this I find Finding Dory to be pretty enjoyable. So yeah, now let's talk about the characters. Dory, of course, which is our main character for this prequel. Or it's maybe sequel if you want to call it, but let's just call it prequel. Dory is still a funny character. And once again, Ellen DeGeneres did a great job as her. Once again. And Marlon is also once again a great character. And once again, Albert Brooks did a great job as him once again too. Mimo was a great character too. And Hank, he's a great character. I like Hank. So yeah. And yep, Hank is one of the new characters. And let's talk about and we get to introduce some new characters. Like these two seals. I forgot what their names are. So yeah. I don't remember their names. So yeah, they're great characters. Got Destiny, which is I believe the whale shark. She's a great character. So yeah, that's Destiny and Bailey. Bailey. If I'm pronouncing his name right, he's a great character too. So yeah. And Becky, funny character. Becky is a funny character. The bird. Very funny character. Was another... Is there any other characters I can think of in my head? Oh, Jenny and Charlie, they're great parents. So, yeah. They're great characters. I do like Jenny and Charlie. So, yep. Those are all the... And Jello, which is the other seal. Jello. He's also very funny. So, yeah. And Clutch, which is the turtle. He's still a great character. Same thing goes with Squirt. And yeah. So yeah, those are the characters I could think of. Let's think, now let's talk about some scenes in this movie. The flashback at the beginning, that was great. I thought Dory was cute when she was a baby, too. So, yep. And the scene where Dory reunites with her family, that was another great scene and also kind of emotional, too. So, yeah. Yeah. And also like the scene where the truck scene. Oh boy, where all the fishes were flying out of the trunk and they put What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Which that's a great song, is a classic. So yeah, that was another great scene, and yeah, so those are some of the scenes I could think of on top of my head. I did rewatch this film like a few hours ago. So yeah. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Finding Dory. But definitely not as good as Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo will always be the best. One of Pixar's best. I mean, this is one of this. I do like this movie, but it's definitely not as best as the. Not the one of the. This is definitely not the best Pixar film. The best Pixar film for me is the first Toy Story. Of course. So, yeah. And this sequel is not as good as the original Finding Nemo that came out in 2004, which I already reviewed on that back in March. Now here I am reviewing Finding Dory. So, yeah. Really enjoying this movie. So, yeah. So anyways, that is it for my... So, that's all I can say about Finding Dory. So, yep. Now, I'm going to give Finding Dory a 9 out of 10. I cannot think of any flaws with this movie. But definitely not as good as Finding Nemo, like I already said several times in this video. But anyways, that is it for my movie review on Finding Dory. And stay tuned for my next review, which will be on Cars 3. Until then, see you in the next video.